I want to speak real quickly about doujinshi though, because that's a market that most people in the States really don't understand. Does everybody in here know what the doujinshi market is really all about? It's kind of a DIY publishing for manga artists. It's the only thing I can think that's equivalent to it in the United States is small press or like indie rock, you know, where musicians start their own label because they want their stuff to be heard.
Press.
What?
Like ultra small press.
Ultra small press. Sony just announced something that I think is about as close to the equivalent as Americans will see to the doujinshi market. Have you seen manganovel.com yet? Who said yes? Wow, you're the other person. I visited the site because I was very intrigued by it. They're making the works of manga and doujinshi artists available immediately online, immediately, without a translation. And then you can go to their forum area and find people that decided to translate it and buy the translation. So you're paying for two things that supports a very interesting do-it-yourself market. You're supporting the artist, and you're also buying a translation from someone legally.
I was thinking about something like that for my website, which would be, to support me, it would be like, pay $10, I'll send you the original copy, and then you can get an online copy of my translation.
Wait, you're gonna send them a copy of the original work and then your translation?
Well, I mean, I send them an official.
Oh, okay, I was like,
I wouldn't, yeah.
do you want to meet me outside? Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So like actually send the Japanese manga and then your translation.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. What are you doing at that point? You're providing a service. You're like a translator that we have at ADV. That's a service. And if you speak Japanese well enough to do that, then you should get paid for interpreting or translating. I have no problem with that. Manga novel I have high hopes for, because it may actually be a solution to some of the problems we see with scanlation.
I was going to ask about the format, because I was just looking for what it looked like. The replacement method for translations was somewhat similar to scanlations, and I was wondering, just now, if there was going to be some sort of reinforcement, perhaps the scanlations are okay, or if it's going to turn the other direction, that when used as a, when it's
Improperly used, I know where you're trying to go, yeah.
when it's appropriate, so it's handled by when it's sanctioned by the original owner.
Yeah. And I think right now that's where they still have to iron out the details. I don't know how they're gonna make up for accuracy. I don't know where the spot checks are, and I don't know whether the creator can say, well, I like this translation best. I don't know, but I'm going to be watching Manga Novel very closely because I think it's a really neat solution. My biggest problem with Manga Novel and online manga in general, I'm a geek and I'm a collector and I like having all of my manga sitting. I'm like Nathan's room with all of his box sets in a row. I'm working on a show called Welcome to the NHK, and my character's room looks like his room, like this guy's room, with the exception of the dolls. And I hear that's Erica's room that has all the dolls in it. But I like seeing all my stuff. I mean, call me like, oh, look at all of this is mine. But like, and I also like having a manga that I can stick in my pocket and carry with me at the airport, because you know, we don't ever sit in the airport for hours and hours on end, do we? None of us, these guys that travel from California and Canada. What?
All these people went by the coach, they just got married.
The horse is about to poop.
Oh, isn't that sweet? And for their honeymoon, they came with anime.
Yeah. That's awesome. And
Dress is unbelievably inaccurate.
yeah, so and not to be so. Now all it took was a horse to derail this whole thing. But not to have looked. I always am very careful not to look like I'm accusing anybody or attacking anybody. But sometimes we have to remind ourselves of what we're doing. And like I said, if you speak Japanese well, then you should be paid for what you do, and not giving that service away.
Scanlation was kind of the way to start out.